Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hopefully you guys are having a lovely day. I am having a really good day. I had a moment, so here I go, getting here live with you. I know it's been a couple of days, but you know what? We gotta do what we gotta do, right? So what I do on this platform is I break down concepts, obviously, for GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, TEAS test, HESI test, IBEW, anything that has to deal with algebra, be it basic algebra like Algebra 1 or the builder of the Algebra 2, it is done here. So if you need assistance with algebra, with your GED prep, with your ASVAB, you are in the right space. So we're going to continue on doing a lot of the basic concepts that we see in those examinations. All you have to do is just read along, and then when you think you know the answer, go ahead and put it in the comments. So for the first one, it says, which of the following shows the product of -7 and x decreased by the sum of 8 and y? Is it your answer is A, B, C, or D? So if you think you have the answer, go ahead and put it in the comments. If you're not sure, remember, you can use a question mark, because either way, I'm going to sit and I'm going to explain why is it A, why is it not B, and so forth. Okay? So whenever you got it, go ahead and put it in the chat. So Wingspan Learning, welcome on in, is saying it's A. So we have user 81 and a whole bunch of numbers. I usually just do the first two numbers. So welcome on in. Peggy, thank you for stopping in. Welcome on in. Slim Jim is saying the answer is A. Trivana is saying the answer is C. Thank you so much, Trivana, for coming on in. Then we have like a couple others that are popping in, popping out, or like, oh, there's Audrey. Where has she been? Well, I've been tutoring. Like a crazy woman. I've been tutoring. Thank you so much, Gems, for the follow. All right. So if we're not sure, guess what? Let me take a look out here. Yes, Marilyn. Thank you. Marilyn is saying it's A. Okay, Kathleen is saying what she needs to say, or you to be silent. Okay, nice. Yeah, you're here. Hey, Big G Money! Representing as always. Thank you so much for popping in. Beardy4 is following me. Thank you so much for the follow. All right, so let's take a look. So we're saying which of the following shows the product of. First off, we need to know what that means. Product means multiplication. So when they say the product of, they usually follow up with those two terms that you're actually multiplying. So the two terms that you're going to be multiplying is -7 and x. So right away, I'm taking a look. I know answer choice is definitely not it, because they're adding the 7 and the x. We need the multiplication. Now we're saying decreased by. So that means we have -7x is going to be minus. So right here, they're having the decrease by happening with the 7x. That's the wrong way. Okay, that's almost like less than. Actually, it is less than. So now, what is it decreased by? It's decreased by the sum of 8 and y. Sum of means addition. So if I look, A and B is very similar. The only thing that's different, one has a parenthesis and one does not. But this is the importance of parentheses. If I don't put a parenthesis, that means I'm just decreasing the 8. But that's not what this is saying. This is saying we need to decrease by the sum of 8 and y. That means we are subtracting both the 8 and the y. So your answer choice is going to be A. Okay? I know it's a long-winded answer, but at least now you have an idea of where this is coming from. Why should we do it? And we didn't have to do a whole lot of math. Okay? Well, we did. Most of the mental stuff. All right. Next one. What are the possible solutions for the quadratic equation x squared minus 5x equals 24? Is it A, negative 8 and 3, B, negative 6 and 4, C, 8 and negative 3, or D, 4 and negative 6? So give yourself a moment. Let's think about it. Let's see what we can do. Okay. All right. All of that. Yep. And taxes and skip algebra. Okay. All right. Wingspan is saying A. I think that was for the last one, but let's see. Math on the Sunday. You tripping? Math is every day. What do you mean tripping? If you got up this morning, the whole calculations of you getting up, sitting in an upright position, putting your feet down, all that is mathematics. Didn't know that, did you? Did you? Okay, Beardy is saying A. Is that Agu? It's saying C. This is interesting. It's saying B. Okay, Marco is saying A. Okay, wingspan, you meant C. Okay. Lala, do I tutor 1-to-1? I do, Lala, but here's the sad part, maybe for you. I'm fully booked now. That's why I haven't been here for the last 2 days. On Thursday, I got 15 new clients. On Friday, I got 5 new clients. I don't know what's going on, but Mama's liking it. All right. So if anything, we'll see what we can do. All right. I see you. Okay. Did the same thing. Well, here's my thing. When you go to AI, you can't use AI on the examination. So you're setting yourself up for failure. So don't do that. All right, so let's take a look. First off, anytime you see the highest degree is a 2, I'm always thinking that I want to set my equation equal to 0. So that means I'm going to subtract my 24 on both sides. So when I do that, I'm going to have an x squared minus 5x minus 24 equals 0. So now from here, I'm going to see if I can factor, which it'll be a lot easy because my leading coefficient, the number that's in front of my x squared, is a 1. If I don't see anything, it's assumed to be a positive 1. So right here, I can go right into splitting my x's. So yes, we are factoring. So this is the part that's the hardest. I need to think what 2 numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 24, and those same 2 numbers added together to give me a negative 5. All right. Yep, so we're getting our roots. Okay. So we have our negative 8 and we have our positive 3. Okay, so we have our x minus 8 and our x plus 3, because here we go. Negative 8 times 3 gives me a negative 24. And negative 8 plus 3, that gives me a negative 5. So the next thing you have to do is just set each of those parentheses equal to 0. So when I make this equal to 0, that means this x is going to equal to 8. And this x is going to equal to negative 3. So my answer is going to be 8 and negative 3, which is C. Okay, so does it matter which one is going to be positive, which one's going to be negative? Yes. Okay, so if you chose A, if I add negative 8 and positive 3, it does give me negative 5, but look what we had to do. Okay, that's what you got here, but I had to set each of these parentheses equal to 0 so I can get my actual root, which is going to be 8, 0 and negative 3, 0. Okay. All right, so how did I get the 8 stray? Negative 8 times positive 3 gives me negative 24. So what 2 numbers multiply together to give me a negative 24 and add together to give me a negative 3? Okay. All right, next one. Okay, just like how we're doing these examples one after the other. You don't sit there and celebrate when you take this test. Remember, it is timed, regardless if it's a GED or the ASVAB. So, Cynthia is 6 times as old as Rebecca. In 6 years, Cynthia will be only 3 times as old as Rebecca. How old is Rebecca now? Is she A, 3, B, 4, C, 8, or D, 12? All right, well, welcome on in. I'm glad you love math. Okay, so Big G Money, you're guessing B. Can't find Haley. Welcome back. It's saying it's D. Do I tutor for AP Calc? No, I do not, Vaughn. I'm so sorry. That is not my jam. Okay. Billa. A, but not sure. Okay, well, welcome back, Billa. Appreciate you. London, we're saying L. Chelsea, we're saying L. We're saying A. Chelsea, we're saying A. Okay, Grandma, we're saying C. Grandma, C, C. Okay, from the start, you're thinking it's D. Do I tutor for Trig? I do, but right now I am fully booked. But I am trying to provide as much information as I can on these lives. Okay, Rose is saying C. Okay, thanks for sharing the live. Okay, Yosef, how are you? B all the way. Okay, you're in your first cup of coffee? Oh, good for you. You're like, I'm somewhat awake. I got you, Bill. I got you. All right, so, and especially, there are so many of these age questions. You'll see it, as I said, on the GED as well as the ASVAB. So now, we know a couple of things. We know that Cynthia is 6 times as old as Rebecca, but we don't know how old Rebecca is. So I'm going to say Rebecca is going to be my X. Okay, Rebecca's going to be my unknown. So that's Reeb. Okay, so Reeb is my X. And then we have Cynthia is going to be 6 times my X, because she's 6 times as old as Rebecca. Now, this is when it gets a little tricky. The next part states that in 6 years, so that means we're adding 6 years to what's going on, all right? So in 6 years, so with Cynthia will be only 3 times as old as Rebecca. So if we're saying Rebecca, this is her now, in 6 years, that's going to be X plus 6. But she is 3 times as old. So the other one is going to be Cynthia. And we're adding 6 years because of the 6 years in the future. Okay? So 3 times as old as Rebecca. Rebecca, remember, is X. Since we're talking in 6 years, it's going to be X plus 6. But then we're going to have that, it will only be 3 times as old as Rebecca. That's where that 3 came from. So then here is going to be, we still got to compare it to Cynthia. So Cynthia is 6X. But they're saying in 6 years, that's why we had to add that plus 6. I know, it's all kinds of cray-cray, especially for the aged ones. But if they're trying to do anything in the future, you're going to add 6. So now, let's go ahead and solve. So we have 3 times x, that gives me 3x. 3 times 6, that gives me 18. Equals my 6x plus 6. So if I want to solve this, I could subtract my 3x on both sides. So I'm moving my x's to the right. That's perfectly fine. If I'm moving my x's to the right, that means I'm moving my constant to the left. So let's see if I can get how much room. So 18 minus 6, that will give me my 12. And my 6x minus my 3x will give me my 3x. So if 3x is going to equal 12, that means x is going to equal 4. So how old is she now? Since we said Rebecca is my x, we figured out x is going to be 4. That means Rebecca is 4 years old. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Daniel, for the slice of cake. You guessed it right? All right. Yep. And it does. It takes a little, and see, my thing is a lot of people automatically, this is what the common error a lot of people do. They'll be like, okay, I don't know what Rebecca is, so Rebecca's going to be my x. We know Cynthia is 6 times as old as Rebecca, there'll be 6x. And this is what everyone does. They'll do x plus 6, and then they'll try to have it equal to the 6 years. No, we're saying that things are happening 6 years later. So that's why we had to add the 6 to Rebecca, and we have to add the 6 to Cynthia. The reason why we had to multiply this by 3 is because what is said right here. Cynthia will be only 3 times as old as Rebecca. Okay, so that means we had to multiply what we would get for Rebecca in 6 years by 3. Okay, so this is going to be representing Rebecca. This is going to be representing Cynthia. So then you go ahead and do your algebra with the distributive property, combining your like terms, so getting your x's on one side of the equal sign and getting your constants on the other side of the equal sign. So you can isolate to get your variable x, which we said Rebecca is going to represent my x. Okay, so Vonda, I'm going to have to tell you, you're going to have to suck it up, because that's how they divide and conquer. They constantly put word problems, and I used to be the same way. Fractions, nope. Word problems, hell no. Okay, but here I am. Now I'm a math tutor. Crazy how the world works. That's God. You guys, he had a bigger challenge for me. All right, as I'm sitting here cursing on Sunday. Okay. God knows. He just knows. All right. The graph of which equation will pass through point 0, -3 and 5, 7? Is it A, x equals 1/2 x minus 3, B, y equals 2x minus 3, C, y equals 2x plus 7, or D, y equals -2x plus 3? Yes. Yes, you do. So if you need to score a 50, that means you need to get at least the equation line, anything dealing with slope, parallel and perpendicular lines, and up to like system of equations. So that's not even including volume, because volume usually hits around the 60s. Volume and surface area usually hit around the 60s. So if you can get all the way up to an equation line, you'll get your 50. Okay. All right. So we have our B. We have Sarah with a B. We got Big G Money with a C. Okay. H is following. Thank you, Smooth Sandy. Thank you for the follow as well. All right. Okay. Thank you, Abraham, for the follow. Okay, Black, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. User 15, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, everybody. Okay. It sounds easier just to guess. Hey, do what you gotta do, Timo. You gotta do. All right. It is a little confusing, but you got you. All right. Not a problem, Junior. Okay. Bill, you're saying C. Okay. Remember, if you don't understand, please put a question mark down. Now, here's another thing about the ASVAB, not to stress you, but to kind of give you a heads up. Now, you're only going to be given roughly 1 minute to solve each question. There are going to be some questions, like this is a continuation from my last live, which was like a couple of days ago. So the earlier parts were like pretty much, generalization, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, fractions, distributive property. So don't be discouraged, but these are the topics that you are going to see in the assessment. All right, so let's see. Okay, there's Jenny. There, Bianca, I got you. Some math you always struggle with. Okay, I get it. It just have to take. Reason why you dropped out? No. So think about coming back in. Okay, now you got someone that can help break it down. So let's think this through. Ready? Anytime they talk about an equation, they're talking about y equals mx plus b. Okay, they're always talking about y equals mx plus b. Your m is your slope. We know slope as rise over run. Okay, your b is your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, and your x value is usually 0. So one of the things that we're going to have to do is to find your slope. Now, we can find slope by using the formula. So slope is basically the change of y's over the change of x. So that means I can do my y1, y2 over x of 1 minus x of 2. Okay? The 1s and 2s are representing the points. So I'm looking at the y of my first point, the y of my second point, the x of my first point, the x of my second point. So especially for those that are just like, I don't know which one's x and which one's y, think about the alphabet, X, Y, Z. Okay, the X always comes first, the Y follows next. So you're probably saying, well, wait, Audrey, that's not the right formula. I'm used to seeing it as y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And I'm going to say, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let's see who knows that formula. All right, so this is my first point. This is my first x. This is my first y. So I'm going to put negative 3 over 0. This is my second point. This is my second x. That's my second y. So we have minus 7 minus 5. Okay. Let's see if I can shrink it down a little bit. So let's do the math. Negative 3 minus 7 is the same. They're the same signs, so my answer is going to be negative. So when they're the same signs, you add them together. So that will give you a negative 10. 0 minus 5, that's negative 5. A negative divided by a negative will give me a positive. And then 10 divided by 5, that gives me 2. So since we're talking about slope, we could use it as a whole number of 2, or we could put it at 2 over 1. So I would rise up 2, and I would go over 1. That's one way of looking at it. If I did my y2, okay, so my y2 is 7, minus my y1, which is a negative 3, and my x2, which is 5, minus my x of 1, which is 0. This is the part that gets a lot of people. Everyone writes down 7 minus 3. That's not what they're asking. They're saying 7 minus negative 3. When you minus a negative, it turns positive. Okay. So now we got 7 plus 3, that gives me 10. 5 minus 0, that gives me 5. And 10 divided by 5, that gives me 2, which is the same as saying 2 over 1. What do you notice? You get the same exact answer. Okay? So this is to go to show. When you guys do the y2 minus y1, you're either going to, this is what a lot of my students generally do. They remember to do the subtraction of the y's, but they forget to do the proper subtraction for the x's. They always go right to left for the y's, but then they end up going left to right for the x's. I don't know why. I wish I can tell you how to switch that around, but that's what students generally do. Okay? So now we know our slope is 2. Let's go to our answer. So, all right, this gives me a negative 2. Definitely not, because we're not looking for a negative 2. We're looking for a positive 2. A is just wrong altogether. Where's my y? There's no y, okay? So it's between B and C. So now we need our y-intercept. Remember what I told you? When the y-intercept is 0, the number, that's going to be your y-intercept. That's where it's going to cross the y-axis. Take a look at one of your points. They gave you the y-intercept. So your y-intercept is going to be negative 3. Your answer choice is B. So sometimes they give you little clues. Okay? So we had to work to find our slope, but they gave us the y-intercept. So we could have done, if we knew that this is our y-intercept, we could have done the process of elimination, got rid of C, okay, got rid of D because it's a negative 3, right? Hang on that. So since we have those negative 3's for my y-intercept, then do your slope, and you notice that your slope was a positive 2, boom, your answer is B. Okay? All right. Thank y'all. All right, so I know there's some people that are like, okay, the answer is B. Give us the next one. Give us the next problem. That's great. But I generally cater to those that haven't really felt comfortable with math. Okay? If it's 5 people, then let it be 5 people. But I really want to focus and try to, help show some people that you can do math. Don't be afraid of it. Okay? Don't be afraid. Houston, Texas, good morning. All right. Like you, hey, I get you, Louise. I know. I was. And, I do. Thank you, Bianca. I appreciate you. Not a problem. Okay? Because I really want you guys to understand and see that you can do this. All right? So let's take a look at 21. So which of the following graphs represent the solution set of the inequality negative 2 times x minus 6 is greater than 8? So is your graph being represented in A, B, C, or D? Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Maybe. Maybe not. No? Okay, maybe not. All right. So, Jesus, I prayed you today. Oh, there we go. See, I said Jesus, and then bam, it happens. I'm telling you, you're doing good things, Lord. All right. Okay, Jen with D, Jay with D, best friend, Blazer. I want to say best friend. Can't have you as my boyfriend. Sorry. C, Ron saying C. Good afternoon. Okay, Jonathan D. Is that Zanella? I think, saying -7. Okay, that's interesting. Emma's dealing with the D. Thank you, Sir Knight, for the follow. All right. So we got Ron, Big Al, I see you with a D, Big Mo with a B, Emma with a D. Okay, Jeff with a C, my smiley face with a B, Big Mo, all right, I see you. Drake with C, you just like me saying your name. Okay, Big G Money. Got question marks? I got you. Oh. All right, Monkey. We're saying C. Jesse's girl, hey. All right, JC is saying D. Okay. Yep, of course, Jonathan. I'm going to work it out for you. What do you think? I'm just going to say, all right, here's the question. Ready? All right, I'm ending the live. I wouldn't do that. Well, maybe next week. I don't know. All right, so first off, we need to solve this inequality for X. Now, since this is all multiplication happening on the left-hand side, I know some of you guys are saying, oh, you can just distribute that -2 to everything inside the parenthesis. True. Here's another way. Ready? Ready to have your mind completely blown? Since this is multiplication, what's the inverse of multiplication? Hey, Big Al. Okay. Yep, you can do that, Monkey. You can. Yes, there you go, Big Al. There we go. Division. Yes, thank you. Why not divide both sides by the -2? Did I just blow your mind? Okay. Bring down the x minus 6. Since we divide it by a negative number, the inequality sign flips. It always happens. Okay, anytime you multiply or divide by a negative integer, okay, you change the direction of the inequality sign. So now we have 8 divided by -2, that gives me -4. So now all I have to do is add 6 to both sides. So now I have x is less than -4 plus 6. Okay, I had -$4 in my account. I was able to deposit 6. That means I got $2 in my account. Okay, so we're looking at x is less than +2. So when I look at my answer choice, I can easily get rid of C and A because both of them are happening at -2. So it's either going to be B or D, and what happens is it's going to tell me the direction. So since x is less than 2, that means I'm dealing with all the numbers that are lower than 2, which is going to be answer choice B. How many of you guys forgot to change the direction of the inequality? You can distribute it. You'll get the same answer. I'll show you in a second. I didn't say you can't. Slim, no. What, because of one math problem, you're going to go work at McDonald's? Stop it. All right, so let me show you. So if I come here, I got negative, I think so, there we go. X minus 6 greater than 8. So you can distribute the -2. So that gives you -2x plus 12. Monkey, I'm just basically taking what you wrote down, which was correct. Then we can subtract 12. So I have -2x is greater than -4. All right. Divide both sides by -2. I still get my x, and I have to flip my inequality because I divided by a negative number. And -4 divided by -2, that gives me 2. I get the same answer. Okay, look. Still get exactly the same. Yes. Good, Royal, good. I know. It's only the inequalities. Hello, Broadway. And inequalities are the only ones when you're multiplying or dividing by a negative, you have to change the direction of the sign in order to get a true statement. Okay, not a problem. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so this one, I might have to zoom in. They're using 2. So they're referring to, so they say, which of the following ordered pairs show the location of point L? So let me zoom in so you can see where point L is. Okay. So basically, what is the coordinates for point L? Is it A, -5, -1, B, -5, 1, C, -1, 5, or D, 1, -5? Okay. Right now it's for ASVAB, but there are some components, King Tech, that you can use for the SAT. Yep, especially like the basics of math. All right, so we got -5, 1, -5, -5, 1. Okay. All right, excellent. All right, so thinking about it, this is our x-axis. My positive numbers are here. My negative numbers are to the left. Okay, so this goes all the way to negative infinity. This one goes all the way to positive infinity. All right, so since L is over here, my x values are going to be negative. But for my y values from here up, think about it, up, they're going to be positive. From the origin down, it's going to be negative. So I always go to my x first, which is to the left, 5, and then up 1. So my order pair is going to be -5, +1. That is B. Okay. So same graph. Now they want to know, what is the slope of the line that passes through point L and M? So we need the slope. What is the slope from L to M? Okay, let me see if I can shrink it down a little bit. I know it's lots of back and forth. But from L to M, so is it A, -3, 2? Is it B, -2/3? Is it C, 2/3? Or is it D, 3/2? What do you think? Okay, Monkey saying up 3, right 2. Yes, Jada. You don't have to go that far. I just need the M. I just need your slope, Jada. Okay. Okay. So Jesus is saying 3/2, which is D. My star is saying 3/2. Okay. Foundations of that. Yes. Okay. Jess, how are you? I know you've been working like a crazy person. I hope you're giving yourself some blessings, girl. Saying D. Okay, Jenny saying -2/3. Okay, all right. So okay, you're switching up to 2/3. Okay, Bill is saying D. Big G Money saying C. Want to learn that? Okay, I am not that person. Hello is saying, hello Paul is saying 3/2. Jordan Square, how are you? Saying C. Welcome back. Okay, Jesus saying rise over run. Yes, that's how I get to you, Lord. Okay, Sean is saying rise over run. Yes. We got D, we got C, we got -3/2. Okay, let's take a look. First of all, if I'm going from L to M, from left to right, my graph is increasing. Okay, so if it's increasing, that's going to be a positive slope. It's going up. So right away, we can get rid of A and we can get rid of B because both of them are negative. So now we need to figure out how many steps do I need to get to the Lord. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. So we're going up 3 and then over 1, 2, and we're over to the right 2. So remember, slope is your rise over your run. This is the rise. This is the run. You got to rise out of bed to run to the bathroom. Okay? So if we got my rise is going to be 3, my run is 2, so my slope is 3 halves. Okay. Okay, you were close. Got it? Good. There we are. Okay. All right. So sometimes when they give you problems like this, okay, I'm going to tell you, this is a 4-point question. Okay, the most that you can get out of some of the questions, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, anything dealing with slope, the equation, the line, those are 4-point questions. Don't just pass them by. Okay, you cannot pass the GED without answering any of those questions. Many have tried, but mathematically, that's how they set it up. Okay. All right, here we go. Novel time. Ready? Bob, Cecilia, Sam, and Daniel contribute money to buy their boss a retirement gift. Sam and Daniel each gave the same amount of money. Cecilia gave $12 more than Daniel. Bob gave half as much as Cecilia gave. If the 4 workers gave a total of $81, how much did Sam give? Is it A, $9, B, $15, C, $18, or D, $21? Yep, you only have a minute. Okay, question like this is definitely a 4-point question. ASVAB, you will definitely see this in the 50s, mid to late 50s. Mid 50s. Okay, so we're saying A. Okay, created by Adam. We're saying A. Okay, thank you for the follow. Was that Ling Ling? Thank you for the follow. A. It just dawned on you it's A? Okay. Okay, and if you're not sure, Sexy T, thank you for the follow. If you're not sure, remember you can use a question mark. Okay, it stumps you. I got you. Got you, Broadway. I get you. Denise, thank you for sharing the live. All right, Bill. This is the time to make those adjustments. Okay, I'm not here to judge. My name has no Jesus or Mary or any of the saintlies. Barbara, well, Barbara is a saint. But yeah, I'm not here to judge. Okay, I'm here just to help. Okay. All right. Trial and error. Okay. So we can do trial and error. I can show you. Okay. Yep. And this is exactly what's on the ASVAB. All right. So let's take a look. Okay. We know we got 4 people, right? We know that Sam and Daniel gave the same amount. We know that Celia gave 12 more than Daniel. And we know that Bob gave half as much as what Cecilia gave. And the total amount that all 4 of them gave was $81. So we want to know how much did Sam give? Well, we don't know what's going on with Sam. But all I know is that Sam and Daniel, so they are unknown, they gave the same amount. So I'm going to say X plus X. Okay, since they gave the same amount, and I don't know what that is, I'm going to use my x's. Now, for Cecilia, she gave 12 more than Daniel. Daniel was one of those unknown amounts. So if she gave 12 more than him, we're going to say x plus 12. Okay, I'm putting parentheses so we can kind of see the division here. Now the last one is Bob gave half as much as she did. Well, if she gave x plus 12, we need half of that. Divide by 2. So that's representing Bob. And if we put all this stuff together, it's supposed to total $81. Okay? All right. Okay, so let's take a look. Right? So Frank, I love how you set it up. I love that. So you got your B plus C plus S plus D. All you have to do is just write down what each is going to represent. Now, do not be intimidated. Ready? We're going to take it step by step. Let's see how many X's we can get together. So I know I can get this X, and this X, because all of this, we're multiplying these things. We're adding these things. So 1x plus 1x plus 1x, that will give me 3x. Okay. Now, the other x that we have is 1/2 the x. So I'm going to put plus 1/2 x. Don't be intimidated by the fraction. It's going to be okay. So since we took care of this x, this x, this x, and this x, let's take care of our constant. So now we have this plus 12. But here, we're going to have to take half of 12. Remember, it was x plus 12 divided by 2. So I pulled out the 1/2 x, but I do need to divide the 12 into 2. So when I do that, I bring down my 6. Then I bring down my equals 81. Okay. So now, let's combine like terms right here. Okay. 12 plus 6, that gives me 18. And what we're going to do with that 18 is we're going to subtract it from the 81. So they're gone. So now, what's 81 minus 18? So that'll give me 63. No, the half wasn't the 6 already, because there wasn't a 6 up here. We had to create that. Okay. Thanks, Big Al. So now, if you want, we're going to be adding the 3/2 and the 1/2. If you want to do it with, 3 plus 1/2, you want to make it into an improper fraction, and then you can do whatever floats your boat. But no matter what, you're going to have to figure out the division. So if I did... I think I want to do that since I'm dealing with fractions. The reason why I'm hesitating, because I have to constantly remind myself that with the GED, the ASVAB, and the ACCUPLACER, you can't use a calculator. I know, it's driving me crazy, but that's what's going to happen. So I want to make sure I am doing the right thing for you guys. Because I know in my mind, I would have done it just like 3.5x. I know, that's what I would have done. So if I have that, we got that, divide by 7. I think that'll work much better. Whoops. Yeah, that'll work better. So if you can't see it as a decimal, let me put it off to the side here. I can change that to an improper fraction. So I can do 2 times 3, which gives me 6, plus 1 will give me 7. So I have 7 halves x. Okay. Now, if I do 7 halves x, I'm going to put that one over here. And that's going to equal 63. If I have it written like this, that means I can multiply both sides by 2. So the 2's in my denominators can cancel out. So now I have 7x is equal to 126. If you want, you can substitute these in to see which one will give you 126. You can do it that way. Well, we know it's not going to be 9. It's not going to be 15 because 5 times 7 gives me 35. And 126 ends with a 6. But 8 times 7 is 56. Ooh. And then we'll carry the 5. 5 plus 7, that gives me 26. It will be my 18. Because if I divide both sides by 7, I got my x is equal to 18. Because if I use a decimal, this is what's going to happen. You can't have a decimal in your divisor. So you will have to move one decimal place over. That means you have to add a 0 and add the decimal place over here. So how many 35s can go into 63? There's 1. So borrowing, that'll be 2. And 8. And that'll be 80. I just want to make sure because sometimes it takes me long. So then how many 35s can go into 280? That'll be 8. Because 5 times 8 is 40. Carry the 4. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 4 is 28. Okay. So your answer will be C. Okay. If you set it up like this, another way you can do it is take your answers and plug them in and see which one will give you 81. If you want to do it algebraically, you can do all this. And you're probably saying, because Bill mentioned it earlier, I got 1 minute to do this? That's a lot. True. But if you think about it, we didn't take a minute to do the slope. We didn't take a minute to solve number 2. So those extra minutes or those extra seconds adds up, and you can spend a little time on more difficult problems. So in the beginning of the test, you're going to see some things that you're going to know in like 2 seconds. But all the extra time that you get, you can add it into some problems like this. Okay? So there's different ways that you can get this. Let's see how badly did I confuse you. Let's go to the comments. Yes, there is a lot going on. Totally agree. You start with fractions and you switch to decimal, middle of solving problem. Yep, you can do that. Some people like to do that. Some people don't. Okay. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Jess, because that's exactly right. If you need something in particular, go ahead and DM me. Okay. Oh, it's personal. How are you? But see, here's the thing. The reason why we switch the knowledge is because we're trying to adjust to what you know. If you like the decimal this is the way that you can do it. If you like the fractions, this is the way that you can do it. At least I'm showing you both ways, so you get to pick which way you want to continue on with. Okay? I'm not just going to pick a way that works for me, because that doesn't make any sense. Everybody learns differently. Okay? So yes, we started with fractions, but how would you be okay to keep it with a fraction? If so, would you be able to get from here to here? Or would it be better if you got from here and changed that 1/2 to a decimal? Okay, so that's why I tried to give you Queen of Sheba. That's why I tried to give you different options. So you have to pick an option that works best for you, okay? All right. Okay. Divide and subtract, which means, okay. So what did you divide and what did you subtract? Because how can you divide the x over 2? How did you get an answer for that? Did you substitute? Okay. Okay. Right now, looking at it, some people actually like this. But I get you. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a good math teacher. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I still got a couple more to do. Okay, so that works best for you? All right, good. Okay. No, that's all right. Everyone's going to have their opinions. And that's the one thing that I'm learning as I go on this journey. I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And that's perfectly fine. Okay? Okay? I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. All right. Oh, sorry. Puzzle piece. 1 second. Let's see if it'll let me. There we go. That should work. There we go. All right. So let's try this one. There we go. All right, so what is the solution set of the inequality negative 7x minus 4, which is greater than or equal to x minus 28? Okay. Okay. Not a problem. Okay. Yeah, Queen. Relax, Queen. I know you didn't. You don't have to. I appreciate it. That's fine. See, here's my thing. In order for people, see, I've been teaching for a while, and I've known that there are some people that they're going to say things, and that's just their opinion. I know who I am, and I know what I do. So I appreciate it. Okay? Because here's my thing. No one told you to stay. No one's forcing your hands in here. You know, they're going to say what they want to say, you know? So it's okay. All right. So trust me, nothing but love. Yeah, not a problem. So let's take a look. All right. So what is the solution set of the inequalities negative 7x minus 4, which is greater than or equal to x minus 28? So depressed is saying A, Jenny is saying A. Okay, Ella is saying B. Is that Nally is saying A? Okay, Sharice is saying A. Hello, Sharice. Okay. Oh, almost skipped one. Amira, sorry. I think it's B. Okay. All right, one sec. You're eating. Not a problem. Okay. So part of the 92%, not sure? Okay, not a problem. I will explain in a moment. Just want to give people a chance just to answer. See what their thought process is. You know, we live in a world of instant gratification. Sometimes we just need a academic Emina. Just need to wash that out. All right. Sexy T's not sure. Okay. Big Al's not sure. Got you. All right. Leo saying, yeah, A. Okay, A. Just a guess, though. All right, Micah. I see you. Okay. All right. Matilda's, yes, you need this. Okay, Blooming, yes. Okay, Mo. I see you, Monique. Okay, Lefty is saying A. Okay, Louise not sure. All right, I'm going to break it down. Is that Sweaty? Saying B? That's interesting. All right, so this time we have, yes, my ladybug. Good. Cass, how are you? So this is what we can do. We are going to need to solve this inequality for X. Notice we have two X's. We have one on the left side, one on the right side. So we need to bond it over to one side. So in order for us to do this, we can do this one of two ways, but I think I'm used to seeing the X's on the left-hand side. Why not? So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract this X on both sides. So -7, -1. When the signs are both the same, you're adding them, okay? Think about credit cards. You know, if you keep using it, money is going to come out, okay? You're going to keep deeper and deeper in debt. So -7, -1, that combined will give me a -8x. You're going to do the same thing for your constants. So if I'm bringing my x's to the left, that means I need to move that constant over to the right. So I'm going to add 4. Notice you can do all this on one line. So these 4's will cancel out. Those x's did cancel out. So now we have a -8 plus 4. When the signs are opposite, you're subtracting and you're keeping the signage of the larger number. The easiest way to say this is think about money. You owe me $28. You paid me $4. That means you still owe me $24. Okay. Gonna keep my sign for right now. And why do I say that for right now? Because I want to get x by itself. So that means I'm multiplying here. If I don't see a plus or minus sign in between the number and the variable, that means I'm multiplying. So the inverse of multiplication is division. And we're dividing by a -8. So when we divide by a negative number, that inequality has to flip direction. Just by doing this, I'm immediately going to my answer choices. And I'm seeing, okay, which one? B is out because that says greater than. D is out because that says greater than. Now, I'm looking at my answer choices. This is a +3. This is a -3. Well, if I come over here, a negative divided by a negative is going to give me a positive. Answer is going to be A. You don't even have to finish it on your paper. If you're not in the classroom, let me emphasize that, because there might be some of you guys that are still in the classroom and you're just like, oh, my teacher wants me to show all my work. Yes. But if you're taking the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the SAT, the ACT, any letter of the alphabet, whatever the test is, they don't care about your work. You can't get partial credit, okay? You want to get to your answer as quickly as possible and effectively, all right? Yes, always remember to flip. Anytime you multiply, and it's usually around the last part. Anytime you're multiplying or dividing by a negative, that's when you have to change the direction of the inequality sign. Okay, it's the same for dividing. Anytime you multiply or divide by a negative, you flip the sign. Hey, Danny. Okay. Okay. All right. Got you. All right, Lefty, calm down. Next question. I know, that's true. Yeah, you don't flip when it's positive. You only flip when it's a negative number. I think that's Harris. Okay, is x less than because it symbolizes 1? Yes. Because of the inequality sign. All right, sure. All right, if a line goes through points 0, 2, and 1, 3, what is the equation of the line? Is it A, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3, B, y equals 1/2 x plus 2, C, y equals x plus 2, or D, y equals x plus 3? Okay. All right, Danny's like question mark. Okay, Jenny's saying C. Yes. Yes, Leo, you definitely need these. Because if you're doing, I'm not sure what test you're doing. I think you probably said it earlier. Tevin, it's going to happen. Relax. I never just give you guys a question and end the live. All right. Okay, do you think? Okay. So if it's GED, these are 4-point questions. Okay, the highest value questions that you have. Anything dealing with slope, equation of the line, system of equation, volume, inequalities, 4-point questions. Do not skip over those. Okay. For your teacher exam, yep, you're going to see these as well. All right, so let's take a look. Anytime they mention equation of the line, they are talking about that y equals mx plus b. So the two things that you need is your slope and your y-intercept. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure when you guys came on, your y-intercept, that's when your x value is equal to 0. Okay? They gave you the y-intercept, 0, 2. So they gave you your B. So if I'm looking at my answer choices right away, process of elimination, A is gone and D is gone. The reason why, this is a 3, this is a 3, we're looking for a y-intercept of 2. Okay? So now we're looking at our choices. We have a slope of 1, we have a slope of 1/2. So we're going to have to find our slope. Remember, slope is basically your change of y's over the change of x. Okay, delta, which is that triangle sign, means change. So this is my first point. So this is my x sub 1, this is my y sub 1. This is my second point. This is my x sub 2, this is my y sub 2. So I'm going to take the difference of my y's. I'm going to say 2 minus 3. And then I'm going to say 0 minus 1. 2 minus 3 gives me a negative 1. 0 minus 1, that gives me a negative 1. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 1 divided by 1 is 1. If you did it the other way, grab this paper. If you said 3 minus 2 over 1 minus 0, 3 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 0 is 1, 1 divided by 1 is 1. You get the same slope. Okay, as long as you keep the right proper pattern, you're good to go. So since our slope is 1, boom, our answer is C. Okay. Yep, you can do that. Hailer, you can do that. You can do a plug and chug. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yes, you can. So you gotta remember, there's more than one way of getting the same answer. All right. Almost done. Oops. Let me use this one. Okay, actually, I got time for like 2 more. Then I'm going to have to wrap up. Okay, in a recent election, Perez got 5,512 more votes than 1/3 of the leading candidate votes. Together, the two candidates received 18,072 votes. How many people voted for Perez? Is it A, 6,024, B, 8,652, C, 9,420, or D, 12,560? So how did I get 3 minus 2 over 1 minus 2? It's the same slope. Okay, change of y over change of x. Okay, thanks, Slim. Okay. Okay, still a little confused. So with the change of y over change of x? So it's the difference of your y's. So my y values, remember, y2 minus y1, 3 minus 2. x2 minus x1, 1 minus 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 divided by 1 is 1. Okay. If you did it the other way, if you did your y1 minus your y2, it's 2 minus 3, which gives you a -1. And then 0 minus 1, which gives you a -1. Negative divided by a negative gives you a positive, which is going to be 1. Okay. It's all right. Okay. So we're back to Perez. Got 5,512 more votes than 1/3 of the leading candidates' votes. Together, the two candidates received 18,072 votes. How many people voted for Perez? Okay, good. So we have our C's. Lefty is saying B. Okay, Jada was saying D. Okay, I got you, Jada. Let's see. Okay, oh, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate it. Okay, Sharice is saying C. Okay, you're second guessing now? Okay. Why are you second guessing? Don't do it. Don't second guess. You were so sure, so don't second guess. Okay, Jenny's saying D. Okay. Everything left your head? Okay. It's all right. I'm going to explain in a moment. I just want to give people a chance to put their answers in. Okay. So now you're thinking A, Jada? Why are you switching up? Okay, divide by 2. Okay. Okay. No, you're not slow. Stop it. Okay? You're going to take your ASVAB soon. We just have to do practice. Okay? It takes practice. So you're not slow. Stop it. You just think differently, okay? Come on. All right. Hold up. I got you, Lefty. Don't even know where to start? That's fine. And I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to show you. Yep. Exactly. Just exposure. Be all right. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. All right. So I'm going to tell you the truth. When I took my examination for my praxis, for my teacher certification, I took it 11 times. 11, 1. 11. Like literally, I would take the test, come home, sign up for the next test. And it was like $200 a pop back then. I have no idea what it is now. And that's what I did. And I just kept doing it until one day I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stress about it. It is what it is. I sit here at night, I practice. And I know it's hard to practice by yourself because you can convince yourself that you know something when you have no idea. It's easy, right? So let's take a look. We know Perez got 5,512 more votes than 1/3 of the leading candidate. I don't know what the leading candidate got, but all I know is if I take 1/3 of the leading candidate and I add my 5,512 to it, it's going to equal what they both got minus what the other candidate has. So this will be my 18,072 minus my x. The reason why I'm taking away from the x, because this is the total that both of them have. But I don't want to basically focus so much on what both of them get. That's why I got to pull out what the leading candidates' votes are. Because I really want to focus on how many Perez got. So by doing this, I need to add x on both sides. But I have a fraction here. And the one thing about fractions, when I add them, we need to have a common denominator. So the denominator needs to be a 3. But what divided by 3 will be equivalent to the original 1x that I'm bringing over. Okay, so if I'm subtracting 1 whole, that means I have 3 divided by 3. Okay, 3/3. 3/3 is equivalent to 1 whole. So for my x's, I'm going to get 1 plus 3 because they have a denominator of 3. 1 plus 3 gives me 4. So 4/3 is equivalent to 1/3 plus 1 whole. Okay. I'm going to start right here. Good. Now, since we took care of our x's, now we need to subtract the 5512. I keep saying 5512. Proper the 5,512. So they can cancel out. Okay. I'm going to have my equals, which gives me so we got our 0, we got our 6, borrow from the 8, we got 0, that's a 1, that's a 6, borrow from the 8, make that a 10, that's a 5. Now that 8 is a 7, so that's a 2, and that's a 1. So for anyone that said D, you just subtracted those two answers. But now we need to do our multiplication. And you're like, what multiplication? We can multiply either the reciprocal or we can multiply both sides by the 3. So these 3's will cancel out. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. Okay. So now we have our 4x is equal to, this will give me 0. This gives me 18, carry the 1, 15, carry the 1, that's 16. 3 is 6, and carry the 1, that's 7, and 1. So now, we gotta divide that by I feel like I did something. On my 4/3. Yeah, it's not a 1. Thank you. Listen, I was like, I know I'm screwing up somewhere. So 1807572. Then I got my 55 112. Okay, multiply that by 5. That's right. Multiply this by 0. So we got 0, we got 8, we got 6, we got 7. That's 3. Losing my mind. Thank you, everyone. Then we're going to divide it by 4. So once we divide all of this by 4, 4 can't go into 3, but 4 can go into 7 9 times, with 36. 36 and carry down to 6 will give me 16, which is 4. Then this gives me 2, this gives me 0. Okay. All right. So let me rephrase. So we took 1/3 of the leading candidates' votes, which is our unknown, but we know Perez got 5,512, but they have a total votes of 18,072 minus what the other candidate got, which is our x. We added the x to both sides. That's how we got our 4/3 of an x. We subtracted the 5,512. That's how we got our 12,560. So now we can either multiply by the reciprocal, or we can multiply both sides by the denominator. So that gives me my 4x. So 3 times 12,560 is 37,680. Then divide by 4 gives you 9,420. This is not my complete answer because this is dealing with the other candidate. It's not dealing with Perez. Okay? We just found the other candidates. So Perez, remember, Perez got 5,512 more of 1/3 of his votes. Okay? So if we already know that the total number of votes was this 18,072, couldn't we just subtract those two by the answer that we got, which is our 9,420? Because now we can see how much Perez got. So we got our 2, 7, we got our 5, borrow from the 18, so that makes that 17. That's a 10, so this makes it 6. And then 17 minus 9 gives me 8. So our answer is B. And I got time for one more, and then I got to skedaddle. Okay, so the 3 1/3, the 3/3 is equivalent to 1 whole. So if I were to add that 1x, I have to have a common denominator. So in order for me to get the common denominator, I need to make the adjustment. So I have to change that 1 whole to a fraction equivalent. You guessed B? Okay. Is there another way? If you're looking for a shorter way, if you want, once you figure out your equation up here, you can plug and chug to see which one will give you the same answer on both sides of the equal sign. That'll be another way. You're welcome. Yeah. So the first thing, you have to translate that word problem into an algebraic equation or expression. In this case, it was an equation. Yeah, you'll get it the same way if you do plug and chug, because then you have to figure out what is 1/3 of this. So you're going to have to take whatever answer that you plug in, divide it by 3, then add it to the 5,512, and then make sure you plug into the other side as well. Okay. All right. So one more. Then I'm going to have to skedaddle. So got to go back to work. Not like I wasn't working here, but here. Okay. Okay. What is the value of x in the equation? -4 times the sum of x and 2 minus 10 equals 5x. Is it A, x equals -18, B, x equals -2, C, x equals 2, or D, x equals 18? How often do I go live? I try to go on live every day. My hours are all kinds of crazy because now with tutoring, it just fluctuates. But I think tomorrow I'll be able to go on in the afternoon around, of course I say that now, and as soon as I get off the live, they're like, Audrey, are you available at 4:30? So I'm going to have to say yes. Possibly like around 3:30 or 4 o'clock tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, I don't know. A winter prayer Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I might be able to come on at 3:30. Friday, I might be able to come on at 3:30 or 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I'm just trying as best I can. Okay. Learn some more? Yes. So possibly what time tomorrow? Like maybe 3:30 or 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Probably 3:30. But it's only going to be like for a half an hour because I have another person right after. All right, so I see some -2s. I'm seeing B. Need more math. All right. So I'm going to show you where else you can get some more math. But that's coming up soon. All right, so let's see. I'm seeing a couple B's. We got glitter pink parks. It's saying B. Big G Money saying B. I thought it was C. Not sure. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. So right now, we can't do that little trick of just dividing both sides by -4 because we got this -10 in the way. If that -10 wasn't there, we can try to divide. But, so let's do our distributive property. So -4 times x, that gives us -4x. -4 times 2 gives me a -8. And bring down the -10 and also the equals and the 5x. So right here, we have like terms that we can combine. So both of them are negative. So when they're both negative, you add them together and keep the negative sign. But this -4x needs to join up with the other x. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides. So I can put all my x's on one side of the equal sign. Because I know there's a lot of people like, my teacher says you should put the X on the left-hand side. You can, but guess what? You can put it on the right-hand side as well. So this gives us 9x. Then I have our equals. We have our negative 18. So we want to solve for x. So that means we're going to divide both sides by the coefficient of our x, which is 9. Because 9 divided by 9 gives me 1x. So negative 18 divided by a positive 9. A negative divided by a positive is negative. So right away, looking at the answer choice, that means C and D is out. And if I'm dividing 18 or negative 18 by 9, that's going to give me a negative 2. So the answer will be B. Okay. Yep, you can do that. All right. Okay. So BODMAS will be good when you're simplifying. If you're going to do it, you have to do it in reverse. So see what you can add or subtract first before you multiply or divide. Just have to think on the reverse. Okay, awesome. All right, so just in case, if you want the replays, okay, this is where you can go. Okay, if you want any of my replays, you can go here, type in this. Okay, if you can do all 5 of these, it's a free subscription. There is actually a playlist that says TikTok Lives. So you'll see all of my lives from February the 2nd, okay, in its humble beginnings, to what this is called now. In the beginning, I used to just do like certain topics. So I would just like go and do factoring. I would add, subtract, multiply, divide, fractions, decimals, did problems with distance, rate, and time, did proportions, ratios, a little bit of probability, a little bit of geometry. And there was some of them that I specialized in. I just did one night of 4-point questions for GED, which is very similar that you will see in the ASVAB. How to break down questions, how to break down some of the word problems, how to add, subtract, anything dealing with algebra or anything that's usually seen on most of these exams are there. So if you want, you can go there, go ahead and subscribe, watch the videos in your realm. They're just like the raw footage of all these lives. So there might be some stuff you might want to fast forward. There might be some stuff you might want to pause. Okay. But you're always there. All right, well, thank you. Okay, you're so welcome. So it kind of gives you a place to go. So if you do need a tutor and you're serious about getting a tutor, if you don't mind working late at night, I don't mind doing it either, right? But if you are serious about needing a tutor and you're currently trying to get your ASVAB, or maybe you're taking your ASVAB like soon as possible, or maybe you're taking your GED as soon as possible, just let me know so we can go over some stuff. All right. Okay. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to ask, but whatever you do, don't just message me, hi, I'm going to delete the message. Like, just tell me what exactly you're doing, what test you're about to do, what kind of, de nada, Luis, de nada. Okay. Hey, Bobby. I didn't see you sneak in here. All right. Okay. Thank you, Black Queens. Appreciate it. And if you know of anyone else that needs assistance, go ahead. Share my information to them. That's the only way that they can find me. All right. So don't forget to follow me here as well as subscribe here. Those are the only 2 things. But there is a Service Plus, so if you need some assistance, just let me know. All right? Okay, I'm going to get going so I can get my crazy day started. All right, you guys have a great day. Stay safe. Do whatever you need to do for the holidays, but, in my household, the holidays are canceled. So just got to try to fight the fight and do what I can do. All right, so stay safe, guys, and I will possibly see you guys tomorrow afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to try to sneak it in, see if I can get a quick like 40, maybe 45 minutes if I can do it before my next session. Okay, so I can keep giving you guys more assistance. All right, everyone, have a great Sunday. Take care.